Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Today, we want to talk about some very interesting topics, but not for too long. Actually, I think this is going to be a kind of a relatively short live stream because David still sounds like he has a disease, and it seems that he might be about to die. So he might just not know this, but he also doesn't like to visit a doctor, so he doesn't want to find out if he's almost dead or not. And I also have significant pain in all my joints and everything because I have the sickness.
This is the curse of Allah.
So that's that. David, what's up? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Wait, my name is too long. I need to change that. Apostate Prophet. I did it because I went to have a debate the other day. Leader of all ex-Muslims. All right. So, David, you look like you just woke up.
Oh, yeah. Well, an hour ago. But yeah, I slept for like 11 hours.
Hey, this is very funny. I could have thought about this myself, but considering
you didn't. What's wrong with you?
Considering that I suffer from arthritis pain, I could have just come up with arthritis pain for AP myself.
Yo, you see? It's actually easier to do Ali Dubba's voice now because it's already breaking. You see? We prayed for our apostate prophet to get diseases, and now he got the arthritis.
You see?
Alhamdulillah.
You see? Key Alifi, nice debate with Aiden there, AP. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Let's be realistic. That was Nick Fuentes in glasses.
It was Nick Fuentes with a rape mustache. That's what it was. Salam alaikum, said God of Pig, King of Dog. Powerful. David, you probably have seen the whole debate. I know you watch everything they come across.
No, I watched the beginning, and then I was no longer interested in what your little buddy had to say.
Anyway, I'm going to post it on my channel tomorrow or so you can watch it.
We could also do a live stream going through anything he said where he wasn't terrible and awful.
I was kind of a jerk though at the end. I kind of
what?
I was a little bit of a jerk. I don't know why I did that, but my parting words were that I felt bad instantly as soon as I said it. But my parting words were something like that. I appreciate that Aiden was a good opponent. He was good at pushing back and so on. Although he was not a good debater. Why did I do that? Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, that's messed up. Because when you said you were mean at the beginning, when you said you were mean at the end, I was thinking, well, this guy runs around screaming, genocide is a genocide. Doesn't seem like he should be opposed to dialed up rhetoric. And then you're just like, suck as a debater. You suck. You're garbage, boy. Go back to your university.
Powerful.
It is this. I brought this up when he was talking to Masab, but it is this ongoing thing because you think, why would he think that he could actually debate you? And it's like, because these guys hang out in their echo chambers all day where they're sitting with a bunch of other people who think the exact same things, and everything they say gets cheered on and not challenged. And then they think, oh, this is legit. So this will stand up to criticism very well.
Yeah. There were some really insane things during the debate that happened to be honest. The things he said about Hamas versus Israel. For example, we established that Hamas actively engaged in targeting and killing and wanting to eradicate civilian Israeli people, and also that Hamas believes in eradicating the Jews in the land. And eventually, although he first denied it, later on he kind of acknowledged that, kind of like half-ass acknowledgement. But then the worst thing he could say about Hamas at that point was that not everybody is perfect. While he accused Israel of brutal genocide and apartheid, and the only reason he could give for that was that in Israel, some people reserve the right not to lease their property to Arabs. That's it.
Hey, that is funny. Hey, these guys raped and tortured and mutilated and chopped up men, women, and children. Well, no one's perfect. I should have used that in court. I should have used that in court. Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood, why did you attack that man with a ball-peen hammer? Well, no one's perfect, Your Honor.
Wait, in fact, it was such an interesting moment. I want to go back and see that they are totally willing to work for a two-state solution.
Buddy Holly.
Wait a second. I have actually admitted that Hamas is not like a. I mean, I don't think anybody says that Hamas is a perfect organization. Hamas has a problematic ideologies, and it's funny you're laughing, but I'm actually I'm conceding something.
I'm laughing at you.
So, this was a very, very funny debate. I think I'm gonna post it on my channel. Hamas is not a perfect organization, man.
No, okay. So, yeah. He acknowledged that Hamas is not perfect. I guess that's progress.
I mean, to be honest, Jeffrey Dahmer was not a perfect guy, you know.
Yeah, Hitler wasn't perfect, man.
Yeah.
No one said Hitler was perfect.
Yeah, Hitler wasn't perfect. Yeah, Ted Bundy wasn't perfect. Like whoever said Ted Bundy was a perfect guy, I wouldn't say he was a perfect guy.
Joe Biden wasn't perfect as president. Yeah. Like when people blast him, like, I can't believe he did this. What? No one's perfect, man.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy Taylor became a YouTube member. Welcome to the club. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And bad news if you want to leave one day because you will die. Style and Rail Woodworking said, I watched Wes on Rogan. I think the only way Billy Carson survives is if he converts to Islam. Oh yeah, the episode has been published. So really? Wes stuff on Joe Rogan is out. I just saw that like an hour before before now. I think as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to sit down and watch that as well because I'm quite interested and I feel very happy. It's getting a lot of traction.
That's cool.
I feel happy for the guy.
You know what sucks is whoever runs Joe Rogan's content, they make it very difficult to review his stuff. They flag everything. It sucks.
Terrible people.
Like really messed up. No, you could play like a 5-second clip and you'll get a copyright takedown.
Well, not everybody is perfect. So.
Oh, that's true.
David, you haven't been following anything probably because you live under a rock. But so the one thing that came to my attention today during the day was Andrew Wilson actually posting something. In fact, I didn't see this. It was IP sent this to me, said, did you see this? And I thought this is hilarious. Andrew Wilson posted the following. Got off the phone with Piers Morgan's producer. He told me I could release this as it isn't confidential. They tried to set myself and Mohammed Hijab on the topic of grooming gangs in the UK, and Hijab refused. LMFAO, ha 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 ha.
That's weird.
So,
couple weird things. One, Piers saying he's not going to have Mohammed Hijab back on because all he does is like devolve it to chest thumping with no actual points made. But two, because why wouldn't Hijab jump at the chance to go defend his religion?
Yeah. This is very funny. He did indeed say that. Piers Morgan did say in the quite recent past that he's not going to have Mohammed Hijab on again because there is no point to it because Mohammed Hijab is not a serious person. So he did say that when asked about whether he would have Mohammed Hijab on again. But here he is apparently trying to arrange a debate between Mohammed Hijab and somebody else over grooming gangs. Or rape gangs, mostly Muslim rape gangs. So interesting developments right here.
Hey, Piers doesn't actually know what he's doing. Piers, here's how you do it. You say, hey, Mohammed Hijab, would you like to come on this show and debate the topic of grooming gangs in the UK? No, I will not do it. I will not do that. Okay, fine. Then I will get the worst Muslim debater on the planet to represent Islam, and I will specifically say that it's because Mohammed Hijab wouldn't step up to the plate. We had to go with our second best.
That is actually
that's exactly how I do it.
That is a good strategy. Alhamdulillah. So unfortunately this is not happening. A debate on rape gangs between Mohammed Hijab and Andrew Wilson is not happening. I'm not sure why. Um, what a racist post. What the hell is this?
British people look weird.
What a weird thing to say. Arctic Base made a super chat. Became a YouTube member. Thank you so much and welcome to the club. God of Peak said, "Salam alaikum. Nice debate. Thank you so much. Wish you both lots of health. Thank you, Ida. Appreciate it very, 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 very much." Koenig's Egg said, "Andrew Titz converted to Christianity again." Oh yeah, I want to briefly look at that as well. So Andrew Tat made Andrew Tat.
We talking about some weird account, or are we talking about Tate here?
Andrew Tate. We're talking about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. I posted about this earlier because I saw a screenshot of it. Although I do want to, I do want to bring up his original posts here. But here's the funny thing. So here are a few things that he says. There is an Islamic crime problem within the UK. This is an objective fact. This should outrage Muslims. Instead, Muslims rush to deny the issue or defend the perpetrators. Rape is illegal in Islamic countries, punishable by death, as is illegally invading and occupying lands. You cannot enter Qatar or Bahrain illegally. There is a problem with Islamic crime. He even capitalized it, which must be accepted before it is addressed. There is nothing that is worse for the reputation of Islam than watching Muslims defend child rapists. He's saying Muslims defend child rapists. And you wonder why Islam is disliked in Christian nations.
A couple issues there, but overall, pretty good post from Tate.
For Tate, yeah. However, that's not all. That's not all. He said something much worse by Islamic standards.
Merry Christmas.
Something much worse by Islamic standards. And if I can scroll down and find this on his page, I will quickly just indeed pull up my own reaction to that. Let's see. I didn't really have this in mind here. Okay, here, right here. So I saw Ella post about this and said, she said, "Didn't this idiot convert to Islam 4 minutes ago?" And so here is the post. The UK will not be a tool for Islamists or Zionists. Both will be rejected. But the UK will not be a tool for Islamists or Zionists. Both will be rejected. Both interest groups aim to extract value from the nation to use as a pawn on their board.
That's true.
We are restoring Great Britain to what she once was. I'm not sure why he thinks he can restore Great Britain. Now, first off, he went to Romania because he didn't like living in Great Britain with the laws, and secondly, he's actually wanted in Great Britain. And if he goes back, he will go directly. He will be prosecuted for pending charges against him. In fact, Romania has an approved extradition order from Great Britain that is waiting. Romania said, once we are done with him, we will send him over to you. So not sure who he thinks he is.
Well, hey, he's actually stupid because look, he was trafficking in the UK. Then they started catching on to him. So he fled to Romania specifically because he said the government's more corrupt and I can pay them off. But then he converted to Islam. If he had converted to Islam in the UK, they would have never touched him. They would never. He was like every time they come to you, like, hey, we've heard these reports of you trafficking these girls and so on. Well, I'm a Muslim. Are you attacking Islam and saying we're all child traffickers? Yes. And they would say, oh, we apologize, sir. We apologize. Go about your business.
Powerful.
He did it all out. He did it all out of order. Weird to think that this guy's the mastermind he claims he is.
We are restoring Great Britain to what she once was, and because it's a she, I'm thinking of employing her as a cam girl.
With her boobies.
And I want to rape her too, possibly.
Boobies, but when you try to talk to her so that she can tell you what a big, strong man you are, you'll actually be talking to me, Andrew Tate, not to Great Britain.
And any Muslim who lives within her must respect. This is a very weird phrasing. who lives within
Yeah,
her
lives
must
within
respect that, much like Christians must respect that Dubai is Islamic. It is very easy for religions to coexist with a strong culture and rule of law, and we are restoring British culture. You are not doing anything, bro. You can't even leave your house. It will feel like England in 1995 again, and anyone who has a problem with that can get out. Get out. A Christian nation with a proud people. Now, it's kind of funny. My assessment of this situation was that as soon as it is no longer in fashion to be an Islamist, to be a Muslim, he will probably give up his whole Islam grift and will move over toward being anti-Islam. And
No,
all that.
dude, seriously, it must be a guy who's going to court over trafficking. And then the big issue of 2025 turns out to be the grooming gangs, right?
Yeah.
Like that would suck as a Muslim. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not cool to be a Muslim right now.
That's funny. And but here's the thing. I said like many others that the whole he's probably done with this whole Islam grift, or he might be done soon or something. But even then, Andrew Tate will always be a bag of filth, no matter what. Even if he changes his views on Islam, even if he personally comes to me, even if he gives me personally a shout out and says, "Hey, listen to this guy. He's the best ever. He's the best ever. I want to give him a massage," I will say, "You are a piece of sh, and I don't want anything to do with you." Because this guy is filth, and everyone should stay as far away from this piece of filth as possible, no matter what he does.
So you heard it here, folks. You have to do the opposite of whatever Andrew Tate says. So if Andrew Tate wants to reject Islam in
Then
the
we all
UK,
convert to Islam. Yeah.
we have to all convert to Islam.
Yes, indeed. If Andrew Tate goes against Islam, then I will convert to Islam, right? That would be funny. That would be funny. So anyway, he says Muslims defend child rapists. Well, he has a point. They have defended him so far, and he's a child. So it kind of makes sense. Muslims in Europe are defending heinous crimes and then act confused when there is obvious bigotry against Islam in the future. The grooming gangs were disgusting. Every sane human is against them. The Muslims defending those actions purely because they were committed by other Muslims are destroying the image of Islam in the West. Psyop! It's kind of funny, man. They're defending you. So, yeah, they are defending child rapists. It's interesting. Anyway, getting back to Piers Morgan. So Piers Morgan has been having a back and forth with Gad Saad as a result of this chain of events. Let's see. Why did the UK mainstream media ignore the rape gang scandal? This is he cites himself as somebody who has spoken out against rape gangs. But here came Sue and said, "But yet you argued with Tommy Robinson when he was telling you what was happening. You decided to try and take the moral high ground by calling him racist. It hasn't aged well," because Piers Morgan keeps insisting that he doesn't want to acknowledge much of the rape gang issue and doesn't want to have a conversation with Tommy Robinson, for example. Piers Morgan says, "No, I said he was Islamophobic," which he is. So his issue with Tommy Robinson apparently is that Tommy Robinson is Islamophobic. Islamophobic. He doesn't want to talk to Islamophobes.
Which would mean what? Let's be clear about what this really means. Piers will very rarely address the issue of the grooming gangs, unless, like right now, it becomes a really popular issue and you can get lots of views. An Islamophobe would be, in this case, someone who points out why Muslims believe they can do this to non-Muslim girls, namely things that are taught in their religion about girls about non-Muslims being the worst of creatures, about girls, about being able to take captives, the captives of your right hands, and so on. These would all be ideas within Islam. But if you say it's got something to do with Islam, then you would be an Islamophobe.
Hey, this is funny. British people when my parents were kids, and British people when I was a kid, British people now. This was posted. This was posted by Jingoistic Pig, who is our viewer. Alhamdulillah. So anyway, he says Tommy Robinson is Islamophobic. Now, Gad Saad came into the discussion and said in a very viral post here, which Elon Musk also gave a response to.
Whoa.
Elon Musk entered the debate here on the Islamophobia issue because Elon Musk follows Gad Saad and really likes interacting with Gad Saad. And Gad said, "Dear Piers Morgan, please forgive me for questioning you publicly, but what do you mean by Islamophobic specifically?"
Pause. Guys, you should always ask that every time someone's using a word that they can use and just and twist, and like even when they say, even when someone says racist or something like that, when you get a word that is applied just to like silence someone or something like that, like, hey, you disagree with me, then you're a racist, you're an Islamophobe or something like that, just instantly, whoa, what do you mean by that specifically? Do that and let them define it, and then see whether you agree.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Please forgive me for questioning you publicly, but what do you mean by Islamophobic specifically? Could you provide a framework under which the scrutiny of Islam and its values would constitute fair criticism versus when it falls under the rubric of Islamophobia?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I could ask you the following question. Do you think that the incursion of Islam in Britain has been a net benefit to your country? If so, how? If not, would this be Islamophobic? Cheers. Very nice.
Very good, right? You're putting him in an awkward situation. If he says, yes, Islam has been net good for Britain, then he's going to have a lot of problems. And if he says, no, it hasn't been, then ouch.
What I find
He's an Islamophobe.
Amazing about this still, it's kind of hard to believe to me, despite everything that is happening, that the richest guy, the billionaire Elon Musk, replies to the discussion and seemingly in full agreement with Gad Saad on this issue. And I mean, think about it. This is about Islamophobia and Islam being a net positive or net negative. Elon Musk says Pierce's brain hasn't received its software update yet. So Piers then responds to Gad Saad and says, "Hi God, Happy New Year. Islamophobic means having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against Islam or Muslims. Tommy Robinson is on the record saying many things that meet this criteria. Read the UK. I think the vast majority of Muslims here are a benefit to our society."
That's not what he asked, though. He said net gain.
There are also lots of issues with this aside from that. So I think he got this from a dictionary, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably
Islamophobic means having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against Islam. Let's break this down here for a second. So having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against Islam or Muslims. Since when is it an evil or bad thing
or a mental health problem?
Yeah,
which is a phobia.
To simply dislike. Let's not even talk about Islam, even if it's just Muslims. Since when is it a big problem or a mental illness or a crime or something morally reprehensible to not like or to dislike Muslims?
Yeah, huge problem there, dude. Think about this. So Islamophobic means having a dislike of Islam. That's part of the definition, right? Okay, so if I say I don't like the idea of grown men having sex with prepubescent girls, which is part of Islam, or I don't like the Quran calling Jews and Christians the worst of creatures, I actually have a mental illness for saying that.
Powerful.
It's a phobia for saying that I don't like child marriage. And by the way, those are good follow-ups in this situation too. Once a person has defined what they mean, like if Pierce were here, once Pierce defines what he means by Islamophobic, give him a couple of elements and say, okay, Pierce, do you like this? Do you dislike it? Or are you neutral? Child marriage. Do you like it, dislike it, or are you neutral? He has to say he dislikes it, which would make him an Islamophobe.
I mean, but here's the thing. We can talk all day about liking or disliking Islam. it shouldn't even be a problem for somebody to for somebody to dislike Muslims. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with disliking Muslims? What's wrong with and it's not just about Muslims. I can say it about anybody. What's wrong with disliking atheists? What's wrong with disliking Christians?
What's wrong with hating women and beating them into submission?
What's wrong with disliking Jews? If somebody doesn't want to like,
You heard it here, folks.
or-
AP said, "What's wrong with disliking Jews? Stop judging people."
if somebody doesn't want to like a certain group of people based on their beliefs, how is that morally wrong, or reprehensible, or unacceptable? How is it wrong to dislike certain people? How is it wrong to say, I don't like Germans, I don't like Muslims, I don't like Christians, I don't like
Turks.
Jews,
I don't like Turks
I don't like
or
atheists.
agnostics.
I don't like Turks, I don't like Chinese people? What's wrong with this? Nothing is wrong with this. Nothing at all. Establishing this, let's then move to Islam. What in the hell is wrong with disliking Islam? The religion, which is full of incredibly horrible things that nobody should be expected to like, to believe in, or to follow, let alone to like. Islam leads to totalitarianism, to authoritarianism, to oppression, to gender discrimination, religious persecution, execution of apostates, execution of blasphemers, execution of gay people, war, slavery, bloodshed, death, destruction, fear, intimidation, and so on. It leads to a giant mess. It leads to evil. It leads to a lack of progress. It leads to backwardness. It leads to ignorance. It leads to stupidity. It leads to mental backwardness in the world. That's what Islam does, wherever Islam goes. How in the world is it wrong to dislike Islam? I'm pretty sure that Piers Morgan has a lot of, in fact, he does have a lot of problems with Islam.
Yeah,
which he also voiced in the past. So why in the world is he bringing this up? Like, this is just so idiotically inconsistent.
And guess what? Ask Douglas Murray if he dislikes Islam. Why would that would make him an Islamophobe, according to Piers? But Piers gladly has him on there.
Yeah,
He'll gladly have Ayaan Hirsi Ali on there. Why, Tommy? Doesn't seem like it's about him disliking Islam.
Plus, now he doesn't want to have Tommy Robinson on, as you say, because Tommy Robinson is Islamophobic. However, Piers Morgan has no problem repeatedly having people like this guy on.
6 million of them were killed in World War II by a genocidal monster in the Holocaust. Do you not understand why that might make Jewish people feel that, yes, they have indeed been victims?
Yeah, I mean, that figure's been revised, but, I believe that Jewish supremacy is the greatest threat to America, and I think it's the greatest threat to the world today.
It's been revised by Nick Fuentes.
What do you mean the figure's been revised? What do you mean?
Nick Fuentes.
Well, they said that it was 4 million that died in Auschwitz, and then they said it was down to 1 million, so they've revised the figure.
Well, how many people? How many people do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
271,000 that died in Auschwitz.
How many do you think were killed in the Holocaust?
I don't know, but I would bet my entire net worth that it was under 6 million.
Okay, so it was probably 5.9 million. Good, funny. This guy.
The evidence all says that it was less than 6 million. I mean, just the mathematics don't work. Like, you can't cremate that many bodies. Like, the whole, gas chamber thing, it's a very ineffective way to kill people. So when people, it's impossible.
This is so retarded. This guy, most of the Jews killed in the Holocaust weren't even killed in gas chambers. Many of them weren't cremated. But anyway, so Piers Morgan doesn't have a problem bringing somebody like this on. Somebody who openly believes in hating and getting rid of the Jews. Somebody who openly believes that Jews as a whole are shouldn't be around us, that they shouldn't exist, that you should find a way to get rid of them, and so on. He even he even calls him brazenly anti-Semitic and says, I'm flabbergasted by how brazenly anti-Semitic. Like you didn't know that. Like you didn't know this before you invited this guy. He invited Candace Owens multiple times after she went full anti-Semitic openly, and even invited her quite recently and ended the conversation with, "It was a pleasure to have you here." So apparently, being anti-Semitic and sharing all kinds of insanely ridiculous anti-Jewish conspiracy theories of abducting and killing children and drinking their blood and being behind all of the disasters and all the chaos in the world and all the wars in the world and aiming for world domination and all of that. So doing all of those things, accusing Jews of all of those things, apparently is not a big problem. You can freely and happily go on Piers Morgan. However, if you are Islamophobic, which means you don't like Islam or you don't like Muslims, then it's like, whoa, unacceptable. I can't have you on my show. The double standards here, isn't it amazing? And the funny thing is, for years now, we have been constantly told that that Jews are the one group that you can't criticize, that you can't say anything about. Oh, we can ask questions about every group, but we can't talk about Jews. As soon as you talk about Jews, you get in trouble. Are you freaking kidding me? We see it right here. It's right here on display right now. Piers Morgan will shut you out if you're against Islam, but will happily invite you in and make jokes with you if you hate Jews. Mainstream media accepts you if you hate Jews, but rejects you if you don't like Islam. This is where we are. This is absolutely where we are.
Not entirely. Because again, Piers does have people on there who don't like Islam. There is the added element, which we've talked about before, that the educated class in Great Britain have a problem with the working class in Great Britain. So if you sound like you're an intellectual and you say, hey, we got a problem with Islam here, and you sound intellectual and your name's Douglas Murray, Piers will let you slide. If you are a regular working class guy and you say the literal exact same words, you have to be shut down and you can't be permitted to talk. And it's built into it. You can see it, right? They don't arrest and throw in prison someone like Douglas Murray. They throw in prison people like Tommy Robinson for saying things.
Powerful. Tommy Robinson is on the record saying many things that meet this criteria. Well, so are many other people that you had on Piers Morgan, like Douglas Murray, as David just said. But you don't have a problem with that. In fact, you love Douglas Murray. And who wouldn't love Douglas Murray? Alhamdulillah. Regarding the UK, I think the vast majority of Muslims here are a benefit to our society. Now, the vast majority would normally accurately imply like over 85% or so, I guess. If you don't want to take it literally, the most Muslims, totally most Muslims. However, that wasn't even the question. Like, do you seriously believe the vast majority of Muslims here are a benefit to our society? That's question number one that I have, and I'm sure that I won't get a genuine answer to that anyway. But that wasn't even the question. The question that Gadsad asked was, do you think that the incursion of Islam in Britain has been a net benefit to your country? If so, how? If not, would this be Islamophobic? Cheers.
Net benefit.
Yeah.
All things considered. Yeah. Piers changed it. Because, guys, you could agree with what Piers here. I think he's insane for saying vast majority are a benefit. Look at the things they're doing as a massive group. Not good for your society. But suppose you granted that. You could even grant AP's numbers. Suppose you're saying 85% of this group are a benefit. Okay, what if 15% are gang raping hundreds of thousands of young girls? Would you say it's a net gain? What if 15% are plotting to mass execute apostates? What if 15% are burning your buildings to the ground and so on? Is it a net gain? In other words, you could say 85% are fine and minding their own business. When you're saying net gain, you're saying, hey, the whole shebang here. Is it positive or negative? And you can even look at the political changes and stuff now. Now the UK, now they have to lock up their own people for social media posts and so on, thanks to Islam.
Powerful. Mosh Cohen said, I watched it and you are definitely going to prison for rape. Thank you. I appreciate that. You mean the debate.
The debate.
Yeah.
He's going to prison for genocide.
Tower and Touch, you guys should get Aiden Toss on and don't say it. Probably some vegan channel or something. I don't know. Mosh Cohen, you should have used Kardan Israeli Supreme Court when he went to the land argument. This debate was so cringy to watch, though. You were too nice, in my opinion. It was weird to me that the one thing that he kept bringing up was that in Israel, the Jewish National Fund owns 13% of the land, and this is apartheid. Are you freaking kidding me, man? Philip Daniel, there were restrictions on sale and lease of land to dhimmis. There is American Indian land that cannot be sold to other races in the USA. This was a funny thing as well. When he brought up the point, so when Aidan Doyle brought up the point to me that that because in Israel certain landowners prevent Arabs from or prevent or don't lease land to Arabs, this is thereby discrimination and literally apartheid. I said to him, by that standard, pretty much every Islamic country out there is an apartheid country. Why are you not talking about that? He said, oh, so you are saying that Israel is just as bad as Islamic countries. That's not what I said at all. That's not how it works at all. This is not logic. I don't know what people learn at UCLA.
You think they learn logic?
I don't know what people learn at UCLA, but that was just such a stupid thing to hear from somebody who goes to a supposedly prestigious university. Man, the West has fallen. King Troll, in the beginning of the Rogan episode, Joe said, I've watched like 20 hours of your content this week, but Rogan is evidence y'all need a Rumble channel. Wow, he did? That's interesting. That's nice. Joe Rogan is impressed with Wes Hoof. I don't know why people have a problem with Muhammad. He wasn't perfect. It definitely wasn't supposed to be a role model for millions of... Oh, wait. Said Silly Goose. Appreciate it. And Michael James said, Tate, the human trafficking pimp rapist. I don't think he's a pimp rapist. I think he's just a pimp and a rapist. It would be funny if he was a pimp rapist, though. Is against grooming gangs. Nobody's perfect, I guess. This is
true.
Like...
If someone goes around raping pimps, what do you do? Do you condemn him, or you root for him? What do you do?
Powerful. Tower and Touch. Why are we saying Andrew Tits? He's ex-Muslim now. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not interested in veganism. Tower. Mosh Cohen. Candace Owens went live with Tate. Case fell. Are you kidding me? Did she do that again? Did she? I'm not. I deliberately don't want to look at the stuff that she does because I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to look at the things that she does. But I mean that sounds like something that she would do. To announce that Andrew Tate's case has been dismissed or something like that. Ridiculously idiotic. E4 Murphy became a YouTube member. Aren't you a member anyway? I thought you always were. Mina Hill, I'm disgusted that Tommy is in solitary. The UK government should be deeply ashamed of themselves. Alhamdulillah, I agree. So anyway. And it continues. Piers, your response is very generic. Please specify something Tommy Robinson has said that has met Islamophobia criteria. I'm not sure why we're playing with this standard here. Islamophobia criteria is not something that we should respect or abide by. We shouldn't be doing any of these things.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. You're going to have a debate about Islam, and what? You want both sides to like it? Huh? Like, isn't that stupid?
Alhamdulillah. Showing dislike. All religions should be rigorously scrutinized, but blatant bigotry of the kind Robinson has displayed toward Islam Muslims is unacceptable. That doesn't mean he wasn't right to bang the drum about the rape gang scandal, because he was. So he was right about that. That's interesting. It's kind of funny how Piers Morgan's comment section is always a war zone, and most people just hate this guy. Except that one time that he posted about Mohammed Hijab, where he had mostly positive reactions because he blasted Mohammed Hijab as childish and immature. That was funny.
Well, here's what's here's what's absolutely insane. Pierce gets on all these people who clearly are there just for attention. I mean, he got on crackhead Barney. He put crackhead Barney on there
for a fruitful discussion, man.
Yeah, it's clear that it's clear that he gets people on for views. But Tommy would also get a ton of views, right? That would be one of his most watched shows ever. So it's like he really must completely despise the British working class so much that he can't even comprehend that there's anything worth listening to them about.
Powerful. He keeps saying that he wants to have Elon Musk on his show, and Elon Musk clearly is not interested. Let's see here. So in response to his Islamophobia remarks here, Khalid Hassan said, as someone born to Muslim parents who grew up in a Muslim country, learned about Islam from as early as I can remember, and attended prayer in countless mosques, I can tell you that you're a dangerous man. No one is obliged to like Islam or any other religion. You can't force us to either like it or call us Islamophobes. Look at the response now.
Powerful.
You didn't understand what I said. Try again.
What? Pierce is saying it's a requirement to be in the public discourse that you don't dislike Islam. So you either have to be neutral or you have to like it, but under no circumstances can you dislike it. If you do, you have a mental disorder called Islamophobia.
You see? Crackhead Barney is an important voice. I agree, Michael James. I agree. Crackhead Barney is an intellectual of our time, and I'm not sure why David Wood is here.
Hey, wait. Did you say invited on Elon?
Yeah.
People, Elon has remarkable power to get things done. Elon could have said it right here. He said, I could interview Elon about why he wants to free Tommy. Elon right now could say, I agree to come on your show, but Tommy Robinson has to come on with me. And yep. Pierce would suddenly accept it because he knows it would get 50 million views.
That's what he should be doing. That's what Elon Musk should be doing. Elon Musk. God has misrepresented what I said. I have no problem with people criticizing Islam or any other religion, but I do have a problem when, as with Tommy Robinson, it comes from a place of well-documented brazen bigotry. It's funny because earlier he gave the definition of Islamophobia, which is that anybody who dislikes Islam.
Dislikes it, yeah.
These things, and it meets the criteria. Regarding the UK, I think the vast majority of Muslims here are a benefit to our society.
You're going to read my response to that.
Basically, yeah. So you ask
First of all, I want to say something very simple here and very, very obvious here. And please tell me your thoughts, dear chat and everybody. Are we really supposed to agree with the statement that the vast majority of Muslims are a benefit to society? Seriously? We all know that's complete nonsense. The vast majority of Muslims are a benefit to society. Come on. Do you agree with that, dear chat? Do you agree that most Muslims are a benefit to society?
Not most, vast majority.
Sorry, the vast majority are a benefit to society.
Basically, define your terms. What is Islamophobia?
Well, so basically what I said is, to sort of summarize my retort, which people can go and check it on my feed. I said, look, number one, I can criticize communism without harboring any hate to individual Soviets. Let's go back to before the Soviet Union collapsed, right? So the socio-political economic ideology called communism has a set of tenets which I may either wholeheartedly support or think that they are abhorrent and contrary to human nature. And I could criticize those without holding zero hate towards Igor the Soviet. Yes? By the exact same logic, it doesn't take a fancy evolutionary behavioral scientist. By the exact same logic, I can harbor zero hate towards Muslims as individuals. I know more Muslims who are friends of mine than most people will ever meet by virtue of the fact that I'm from Lebanon. But I could make statements about Islam that in no way could constitute what Piers is referring to as Islamophobia. Does Islam promote sexual liberation of women? If yes, okay. If no, then let's talk about it. Does Islam have orgiastic love or hate towards the Jews? What's the position of Islam? But Piers
That's an interesting choice.
Can't do that, because for Piers, he's been inculcated with the Western reflex that to criticize anyone's religion is gauche, right? You don't talk about politics at the dinner table, and you never talk about religion, except if you are criticizing Christianity, in which case you could put a crucifix in urine and call it art, and we all applaud. That's okay. That's progressive. But don't you dare ever criticize Islam. It's Islamophobic. Now, he replied to me, but I just wrote to him before I came on the show saying, I'm going on a show on Fox. I'll respond shortly. So stay tuned. There's more to come with Piers.
Did he misrepresent Piers Morgan here in any way? So he very, very much described what Piers Morgan said to him and also replied in the most reasonable way and in the most correct way. This is indeed true. Gaza doesn't have to hate or dislike a single Muslim, but can at the same time really dislike and criticize and be against Islam. That's totally fine. But according to Piers Morgan, as we heard earlier, or as we read earlier, this is Islamophobic, which is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let's see. What did he say again? Where is that? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, here. Islamophobic means having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against Islam or Muslims. So, if Gadsad has no problem with Muslims, but he really dislikes Islam, then by Piers Morgan's definition, Gadsad is Islamophobic. And that is stupid. Yet when Gadsad accurately describes exactly what Piers Morgan said here, Piers Morgan accuses Gadsad of misrepresenting him. He says here, God has misrepresented what I said. No, he hasn't. He has not misrepresented you at all.
Yeah, first of all, Bull, I have no problem with people criticizing Islam. If you're criticizing it, then you dislike it. You specifically included disliking Islam as part of your definition of an Islamophobe. So, sorry. You did. He just represented you completely accurately. In fact, Piers, you just misrepresented yourself.
Yes.
You gave your definition. He applied your definition. Then you said, no, that's not my definition. So you attacked yourself.
He just had Jordan Peterson on earlier today, I think. Jordan Peterson dislikes Islam as well.
Yeah, he says, how about no?
How about no? I don't buy your Ella.
Islamophobe. Why did you invite the Islamophobe Jordan Peterson on your channel, on your show? I have no problem with people criticizing Islam or any other religion, but I do have a problem when is with Tommy Robbins, and it comes from a place of well-documented brazen bigotry. I'm sorry, but we all know very well that if somebody was popular for thinking Christians are a bunch of losers and a bunch of morons and idiots, and that Christians should just F off, and Christianity is garbage, and so on, and even more than that, and got really, really, really messed up about Christian symbols and beliefs in the Bible and so on. Would Piers Morgan really say, oh no, this person is Christophobic? I will not have this person on. It's Christophobic. I will never, ever have this Christophobic bigot on. Does anybody really believe that?
And again, just look at all the people he's had on to blast away at the Jews. These are people who, you could say, what are the words here? Who are saying things that, quote, come from a place of well-documented brazen bigotry. It's indisputable. If Hitler went around, Piers would have him on his show for views. Tommy is the one who's off limits because he's British working class.
Yeah. So if somebody believes that Jews are behind all of the world's problems, and Jews have a secret agenda to kidnap and kill people and drink their blood, and so on, that's totally fine with him. It's a pleasure to him to have those people as guests on. If somebody believes in, I don't know, urinating on a cross or something like that, that's also totally fine.
Urinating upon one another.
But if somebody doesn't like Islam, it's like, whoa. That's blatant bigotry, brazen bigotry, Islamophobic. Are you insane? Excuse me, are you insane? You sound very Islamophobic to me. This is Piers Morgan. I thought Piers Morgan was better. But I do have a problem when, as with Tommy Robinson, it comes from a place of well-documented brazen bigotry. Well. That's Piers Morgan to you. Piers Morgan for you. That's that. Let's see.
Are the exception, not, the extremists, as they are in every religion, are the exception, not the norm. And it's a pretty perilous road we go down if we start to say, well, the whole Muslim community is at fault here, which, by the way, Tommy Robinson has said, after the 7/7 bombings a few years ago on the buses and the underground system here, a heinous series of 4 terror attacks in London. Tommy Robinson went up and basically...
Remember, Islam is a net positive to the UK.
Accused all Muslims of being complicit, all of them, and later retracted it. But that's why when I say Tommy Robinson...
Wait, what? Later retracted it? He later retracted it, but you are still blaming him for that?
All of them. And later retracted it. But that's why when I saw terror attacks in London, Tommy Robinson went up and basically accused all Muslims of being complicit, all of them, and later retracted it. But
wait, so Tommy Robinson accused all Muslims and later retracted it,
and therefore you have to hold it against him forever.
But you hold it against him?
So his prime example of why Tommy Robinson must be completely silenced and probably belongs in prison forever is that he said something that he later regretted and retracted.
Oh, man.
Great job, Piers. You're helping yourself a lot.
Maybe Piers needs some, I don't know, some values of forgiveness or something after all.
That's why when I say Tommy Robinson is an Islamophobe, I don't think he doesn't hide it. He might deny it, but he doesn't hide it from his own rhetoric. He is somebody that despises Islam and believes that all Muslims were to blame when there were terrorist attacks by extremists.
You just said that he took that back, and yet you still accuse him of blaming all Muslims for a terrorist attack. And there is nothing wrong with despising Islam. Seriously, man. I replied to him when I saw this because I thought, man, this guy this is ridiculous. I mean, he has to hear from people and think about this and be confronted with this sometime. Imagine this. I replied to him actually and said, I'm an ex-Muslim and deserve to be killed according to Islam and the prominent Muslims whom you honored on your show. Islam is a religion that glorifies war, hate, death, and bloodshed. It punishes those who leave or criticize it. Islam deserves all the hate it gets. But here's the thing. So Piers Morgan thinks it is something unacceptable to despise Islam. This is his big thing. Despising Islam is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm sitting here as an ex-Muslim, not part of the conversation. I'm hearing this. I hear that despising Islam is unacceptable. I sit here as an ex-Muslim who is, according to Islam's fundamental rulings, according to Islam's prophet, deserving of the death penalty simply for my leaving Islam. According to the most popular Muslim apologists and preachers, I am supposed to be executed because that's what Islam says. Yet I am told, together with the rest of the public, that despising Islam, this religion which says that I should be executed, is not acceptable. This makes me Islamophobic, unwanted. Isn't this just ridiculous, man? I'm supposed to like Islam. I am supposed to love Islam. I'm supposed to have nothing but respect for Islam. I can't dislike Islam. Why would I have the right to dislike Islam? Let's hear it again from the most popular Muslim YouTuber, Ali Dawa.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah, there's a reason why there's a capital punishment, because people like you, little weaklings who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that. Yeah, not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah, no, under an emir, it is done. Yes, and we, you know what, we'll be watching. We'll be watching, because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause more damage to the society as a whole, because the Sharia didn't come to protect an individual's right. Hey, can I drink alcohol? Yes, sure. Drink alcohol, run someone over, kill them, set all this kind of chaos. No, Islam says the right of the community is greater, and you individual wanting your right to freedom, which is BS. Absolutely BS. This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah, there's a reason why there's capital punishment, because people like you, little weaklings who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt, and we're proud of that. Yeah, not individuals going and doing it themselves like idiots. Yeah, no, under an emir, it is done. Yes, and we, you know what, we'll be watching. We'll be watching, because if you're going to cause corruption in the land, that's going to cause.
Later, I'm going to wipe my butt with the Quran in honor of Piers Morgan.
Well, that would be Islamophobic, because you don't like Islam, which calls for your public execution.
The worst problem is that it will probably hurt, man, to wipe yourself with a Quran page, honestly.
No. All kinds of things hurt that are worth doing. Like the paper cuts I get in my mouth when I do that.
I hate Islam. I despise Islam. I spit on Islam. I think it is the worst thing, one of the worst things that happened to humanity. It is the worst religion. It is a disgusting religion. It makes me sick. Everybody should hate Islam. Everybody should despise Islam. I don't like the religion that wants me executed. I don't like the religion that wants other apostates executed. I don't like this religion that is for slavery, for war, for death and destruction and bloodshed and oppression. I don't like this religion.
I don't buy your Ella.
And apparently that is unacceptable to Piers Morgan. There's no way he didn't see this. With so many people tagging him constantly checking things, me tagging him, people responding. And
I'm going to post some responses now.
As well. There's no way he didn't see this. There's no way he didn't see this. Hey, I don't know if you've seen this, but there was this messed up post that people are outraged about. So Mohammed Hijab said something about numbers. He says, if we increase our birth rates, Muslims can be assured to be 10% of Britain and 20% of France in 2050, despite any policy changes in immigration. We are not the Zionist lobby. Our strength is not in our ability to influence politicians. Our strength is in our numbers. I hope all of these idiots and imbeciles out there who have for 2 years now talked of, oh yeah, Muslim alliance, maybe alliance with Muslims and so on. I hope all of these idiots see this. I think people should share this widely. They should share this widely. Here is the most popular Muslim debater, together with Al-Dawa, who is not a debater, who is rather a comedian, saying or proudly declaring that Muslims, if they breed more and stay here, they can become more and more in numbers, and thereby assert their strength. It is not a reversible process anymore. 10% of Britain and 20% of France and more. Islam will grow. We will rise. We will rise. This is what he's saying. This is what he's saying. In response to this, I said numbers can be reduced. To which he replied, not by you, big man. And some people are going crazy saying, what do you mean numbers can be reduced? How dare you? What are you saying? I'm not sure why these people think that I'm saying something really bad. I mean, I encourage people to leave Islam. If lots of people leave Islam, then this will result in the reduction of numbers of Muslims, right? What's the problem? This is what we're dealing with.
Extremists in London. And I think that is dangerous rhetoric. So I think that there is a conversation.
Well, it's clearly dangerous.
It's
clearly dangerous.
The conversation has to be nuanced.
Okay,
and it has to be careful. Would you
well,
accept that?
I agree. Well, let's take absolutely. That's for sure. I mean, let's take it apart a little bit more. Then, I mean, first of all, there are reasons that the authorities were afraid to act in a manner that they should have. Now, they were afraid partly because they would be pilloried by their confreres on the radical left, because the progressives are very good at reputation savaging their own.
Yeah.
But they're also afraid of a Islamic fundamentalist backlash and the murderousness that might accompany that. So there's a reason they're afraid. And Piers, you also didn't address my issue. And I'm not accusing you of anything. I don't expect you to have the answers because this is too complex. But you know, the fact that only 3 of 50 Muslim majority polities in the world, states, are democratic, even approximating democratic. It's like, what the hell are we to make of that exactly? Like, look, first of all,
hey, stop being Islamophobic, man. What's your problem, Mr. Jordan Peterson? Stop being Islamophobic. This is ridiculous. Unacceptable. Piers, why do you still have this guy on your show?
you pointed to the fact that there are psychopathic sadists, dark tetrad types, right? Machiavellian, narcissistic, psychopathic, and sadistic. That's the constellation of personality traits. And that's a human constant. It's about 3 to 5% of the population. And that's independent of race and ethnicity.
Hey, look at this. I ratioed Piers Morgan by simply asking him to if he will invite me on his show. Look. He said, you didn't understand what I said. Try again. I responded to him, will you try to talk to ex-Muslims whom your Muslim guests want dead? Can't even spell. What an idiot. Guests want dead. Invite me. Or do you think...
Yeah, why would he have you on there when you can't even spell and don't know basic grammar because you're Turkish?
Stupid. Invite me, or do you think that will be Islamophobic? I ratioed him with just telling him to invite me. Now he has an obligation to invite me. Powerful. Powerful, powerful. Powerful. Anyway, David, what do you make of all of this?
I looked at I was just looking at the comments. A lot of people are telling Piers to quit digging. That's what he's doing, right? Like the first rule, if you're digging yourself into a hole and you want to get out of the hole, first rule is stop digging. But people tend to keep digging. And so as soon as he said, by the way, guys, notice when we pointed out that Gad Saad asked him for a definition, that's what just got Piers into trouble. He gave a definition. And then Gad Saad applied that definition. And then Piers goes, you're misrepresenting me. No, he said, he responded to exactly what your definition is. Then he had to start changing his definition because his definition would lead to absurd implications. And so he had to start changing and crying, you're misrepresenting me. That all started just by a question. Hey, could you tell us what you mean by that? So everyone should be doing that a lot. And everyone should be taking this opportunity to expose Piers for his blatant hypocrisy. And it's like there's levels of it. It's just like hypocrisy after hypocrisy after hypocrisy. Given how he runs his show, there is zero good reason not to have Tommy on there. If you don't, he could just say, I don't like Tommy and I don't want to talk to him and I don't want to be on my show. I'd say, okay, fine. There are people I don't like and I don't want on my show. It makes perfect sense. But when you say it's because he's this, and you say, what do you mean by that? And then you give a definition that's stupid and that would rule out a ton of your other guests. And so you have to constantly change it. Then it's clear that something else is at work.
Powerful. Powerful. Anyway, you're clearly sick, so I don't want to make this too long to torture everyone else with having to listen to you. So Mr. Man Dude, Piers Morgan isn't full on but he isn't too bright either. He's the midwit of midwits, king of uneducated normie takes. Yeah, he's kind of a dummy. God of pigs, Muhammad was Islamopubic. Chicken nugget, Dawood, as a newish Christian, how do I love my enemies in this case? I have genuine hatred and vitriol toward those involved in the scandal.
Well, keep in mind, loving your enemies doesn't mean just having warm feelings for them. If you want to love the evil, sick, twisted groomers, then you would notice what it says when it says love your enemies. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. You can pray for people. And when you're praying for your persecutors, you're not saying, I pray that you persecute me more. You're praying that you like change, right? So you can actually pray for these guys to change. You can pray for them to get caught and locked up and to face the music. Why? That's not just in the best interest of the girls. That's in their best interest. These are people who are ultimately going to have to stand before God for judgment. And it's better for them. It's better for them if someone stops them from what they're doing. So there are all sorts of things you can pray for them about. You pray for them to change, renounce the religion that convinces them that it's okay to act like this. Pray for them to be caught, exposed, completely humiliated. That's good for everyone, including them. They won't like it, but it's what you got to do. And pray for them if they're not going to change their ways, that they get locked up and stay there, get deported, all those kinds of things. So what I'm trying to say here is we have a really screwed up, distorted Western view of love nowadays, where love is just a warm feeling. And that's not the biblical meaning of it.
Yeah, that's a powerful response. Powerful. You know what's very funny?
I don't think grooming gangs are funny.
This is very funny here. You have people nowadays. Apparently, this is totally cool. You have some guy named Dave Smith who is allegedly Jewish, but who is with the gropers and the neo-Nazis, refusing to condemn them and kind of supporting them in the narrative and saying, okay, but they're not really that bad. Here's Jake Shields. He has a podcast now, which is partly on YouTube and partly on Rumble. But this clip was actually on YouTube. And here is on YouTube, on a short video, you can see on this clip, Jake Shields' guest, who is some imbecile that I forgot what his name is. He's actually wearing a Nazi cross, a Nazi symbol, a Nazi Hakenkreuz. And apparently totally acceptable. It's kind of funny how these people went within 1 year or so from I'm not against Jews to kill them all. But this is what they are. This is what Ken O'Keefe, whatever his name is. The funny thing is, I also looked into this, and so this is actually what he's wearing here is a cross in the early years of Nazi Germany that was given to mothers who had lots of children. It was called the Honorable Cross of Mothers or something like that. But why is he wearing this? Maybe I thought maybe it represents the amount of guys that banged him as if he was a mother or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe he's trans. However, this is apparently normal nowadays. Very, very interesting times. Mina Hill, Tate becoming a Muslim is the funniest thing and the biggest L for Islam. I love how the Dawa guys look so stupid when he tweets things like that. I don't know. I think Andrew Tate should stay Muslim. That would be very good. Jadzia said, Yadzia, how to explain to libs why problematic parts of the Quran are still followed by Muslims if we don't follow like stoning adulterists? Very different things. But David, it's your voice. Amazing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty straightforward, Jadzia. If you read the Bible from beginning to end and ask yourself, should I be stoning adulterers? What's your answer? AP, you haven't finished the Bible, I don't think, but what's your impression? If you read the Bible from beginning to end, should you be stoning adulterers?
No.
Okay.
I read the Gospels.
Think of it in terms of final marching orders, Jadzia. Are you right now supposed to be stoning adulterers?
No.
No. Are Muslims supposed to be stoning adulterers if they actually control the government and society?
Yes.
Do you see the difference? So you're asking, Jadzia, you're asking, how do I explain to someone why the commands of the Quran and Muhammad are still supposed to be applied when there's nothing that cancels them or overrules them? How do I explain to them why people who follow the Bible, where you're told that there are multiple covenants and that the final covenant is one where you're not doing this, why you're not doing it? Yeah, that's the issue, breaking that down.
It's the final covenant. Whose allegiance? Who is AP's allegiance to anyway? Irish Republic. Who is AP's allegiance to anyways? LOL. Which nation?
The Irish Republic.
No, as an American, of course, it's Israel first and then America.
No, Israel, then Turkey, then Germany, then Ireland, and then like 30 crap countries, and then the United States.
Yes, something like that. After Narnia. Tezbot, hi guys, can you help me? I think I may be an Islamophobe. Nice, good for you. Prismite, just like Russophobic, a manipulation technique. Alhamdulillah, precisely. Butter framed in gold says, I'm going to start calling people Christophobic. You should. You should be using that term. You should absolutely be using that term. Go up Israel only. Yeah, I actually I kind of misspoke earlier. So as an American, of course, my allegiance is only to Israel. I don't care about America. Buddy Paul Pal became a new member. Welcome to the club. Leopard Black Sheep BC had a powwow last night on Black Magic 363 about upcoming convention. I don't know what any of this means. I have no idea what any of this stands for, but I agree with you entirely. Programmer X, if Islam was right, they wouldn't need blasphemy laws, and they would fear other religions in their country. Precisely. But Islam rules through power and fear and victimhood. Power, might, violence, and people are Islamophobic. That's how Islam rules. Hey, what's up, Nabil? Nabil Hijab. Nabil Hijab said, you're humiliated. Genocide, apartheid, ethnic cleansing, sodomized.
You're finished already. Look at me. You know you're done.
I love this guy.
Nabil Hijab.
I don't buy your Ella.
What counts, man?
Mina Hill, this is a bit off topic, but Tyrant Trudeau has promised to resign. What a relief for Canada. Can't wait to de-Islamize Canada when elections come. I'm happy to hear that he actually said that he is going to resign. I guess the plan is whatever it's called. There is a process of the House. I'm not sure. I haven't followed the whole process, but he's in the process of resigning eventually. However, reversing or de-Islamizing Canada, good luck with that.
It is interesting because if you said, "Oh, Trudeau is resigning," I would be like, normally I would be like, "Well, you guys are screwed anyway," because you're going to get some other boy band wannabe idiot loser to run your country, and it's still going to suck. But they got that Pierre dude who sounds pretty based and commonsensical and wants to fix their economy and stuff. But anyway, so I don't know, but he sounds a lot better than Trudeau. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, there is a great shift in the whole world in politics in the whole throughout the Western world toward the center and the right from the left. So that is an interesting development to see. Pierre Poilievre seems like an interesting guy. I don't know. Let's see how that unfolds.
Interesting. I'm gonna grab tea. I've got tea brewing.
Tea brew. Okay.
Be right back.
It's like Hebrew, but it's tea brew. Ooftastic. Piers doesn't. Somebody should start a tea brand and call it tea brew, like an Israeli tea, but it's tea brew. That's it's very creative. You're welcome. Ooftastic. Piers doesn't have tea on because he is an elitist who views his anti-Islam views as elevated and rational, and teas are dirty and from a vile place of bigotry and hatred. It's a British class thing. This is exactly what David says. That's exactly what David claims. And it sounds quite accurate. It does sound quite accurate. That's what it looks like. This is why, like, Douglas Murray can be on his show as much as he wants, but Tommy Robinson, absolutely not. Although they pretty much hold the same views. Yes, man. Has anyone ever been far even as decided to use what? Has anyone ever been far even as decided to use even go want to do look more like? Yes. Fatwad says Piers has always hated and denounced Tommy for a decade, despite what happened in these towns. He's culpable in the cover-up to a degree. He is a sellout and a hypocrite and a sick man. Body pal, David Wood, soldier on, inshallah. Annabelle, PM had Peterson on today, yes, and capitulated to Jordan Peterson on Islam, but later said it was cultural and they are all Pakistani. I need to watch that episode. People have been saying that that he has given in to Jordan Peterson's logic, but I got to check that out. It's kind of it's very, very bad that he has an Islamophobe like Jordan Peterson on his show, though. Go top. I heard Momo was a therapist, just with a space between E and the R. Ethan Matthew became a member. Welcome to the club. John the Presbyter, can you start your debate with CD by thanking him for taking time out of his busy schedule of prank calling elderly women to be here? Is that what he does? I have to keep this in mind. I'm going to be debating Central Dawa twice over the next few months. It's funny because I already gave them my dates, but I myself don't know when the debates are, so I have to check that sometime. But sometime later this month, I'm going to debate him, I think, and then next month as well on two separate issues. One of those would be whether Muhammad was a true prophet or not, and the other about whether Muhammad is in the Bible or not. He picked that topic. Mumujo, are the majority of Muslims in UK doing well or contribute to the UK because of Islam or because UK is a Western Christian country, free education? Interesting questions. You should look that up. I mean, they are in the UK because they believe that they have better opportunities in the UK than in their shithole country, which is what gives them abilities to do things better. But they don't. The idea that the vast majority of them are beneficial to society is just complete garbage. Tesbot, aside from grooming gangs, extremism, terrorism, Sharia courts, regular use of interpreters, Islamic culture of multiple wives and children is truly disproportionate drain on resources. Well, not everybody is perfect, Tesbot. yes, you have rape gangs, you have extremism, you have terrorism, you have Sharia courts, you have regular use of interpreters, Islamic culture of multiple wives and children. You have all of these things and much more. And you have an immense rise in conflict in general and all of that. But not everybody is perfect. So what's your problem with Muslims? You should be against everybody. Everybody. Pat's leather straps. Dude, can I get mod just so the Muslims that have blocked me are forced to put up with me? Happy New Year's, by the way. Yes, you can. Mosh Coin. Whenever people call me Islamophobic, I just say thank you. That's what I do when David calls me anything as well. Powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Steve McLovin. Modern UK would hand over slaves to the Barbary pirates. Man, that's that's actually a pretty good analogy. They would. They probably would. Dr. Phi found and watched Tommy's documentary Silence on YouTube, 1 hour 45 minutes. I will say it's crazy how he has the teachers on video saying that they signed NDAs, were paid, threatened to not talk about the kid who seems to have been a bully. Yeah. Tesbot, Tommy Robinson has never been racist. I wish people would stop saying so. He recently got under fire by the gropers and Nazis for being not racist. It's really funny. At present, David Wood's health is priority than Shitlam. No, it's not. It's not. If we have to choose between Islam, getting a bad reputation or refuting one Muslim's argument, and David surviving, I would choose refuting the one Muslim's argument. David Wood's health or life doesn't have higher priority than 1 second of Islam, than anti-Islamic content. You see, you know what? You see how this goes, right? I understand where you're coming from, and I also value David Wood as a human being, and as a friend, and as somebody to work with, and all that. But just owning a Muslim apologist is more important, I think, than preserving David Wood's life. So there's that. Yes, man, I'd almost rather be a part of a religion that revolves around singing toilet heads. What are singing toilet heads? Are you just making weird comments that have no meaning at all, or are singing toilet heads a thing that I have never heard of so far? I'm gonna Google singing toilet heads now. Oh, that is from the Skibidi meme, isn't it? What the hell is Skibidi toilet anyway? Is a Machinima web series created by. Okay. Well, those older than 12 years old probably don't know what this is, but if I have to see it, then everybody else has to see it as well. So here. This is it. Good. Anne Wyckoff, he has on Candace with her blood libels and slander against Jews. I've lost all respect for Piers. Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. It is disgusting and sickening. It's absolutely horrible. Michael James Piers, it's racist. It's gross. It's racist. Hey, David, the chat has been saying that this guy looks like you, so I had to put it on the screen. Do you see the resemblance?
Yeah. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, the smile, the hair.
Yeah. Just
ears.
no glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. You slap some glasses on this thing, dead ringer, spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Looks like Lex Friedman. That too, yeah. Lex Friedman. Powerful. Silly Goose 9236 said, AP, do you believe that Islam gained a foothold in Europe due to the erosion of Christian values through atheism? What would be the solution if so? Thanks. Definitely. The secularization of the West has definitely contributed to the weakening of, to letting down the guard and the shield that kept out Islam for the longest time, and let in all kinds of different ideas and ideologies and cultural influences, including Islam. I mean, there you had Islam at your door, banging and trying to kick the door in for 1,000 years, and being kept out with full force against invasions, against rapes, against raids, and so on. And then suddenly, Europe moves away from that stance and moves towards secularization and liberalism and making everything and everybody equal. And suddenly it's like, oh yeah, hey, you guys who have been trying to rape us for 1,000 years, how about you come in here and just live with us over here? And then you can still see if you still want to rape us or not. We can just figure things out. And if you end up wanting to rape us, I guess we can just talk about it in the end. And if it doesn't convince you, then just don't rape us too badly. Pretty much.
It's weird, but then you have all the college students who demand that the same stupidity be applied in Israel, right? It's like the same, like what you just said. Hey, you've got all these guys who we know exactly what they want to do because we've seen what they do. You know what? Let's go ahead and bring them all in and let them do what they want. And then Israel's told, hey guys, you need to be as dumb as we are. When this is something that I've seen Netanyahu point out. Israel can't afford to make one mistake, right? You make one big mistake, Israel's done. Whereas Europe or the United States can actually handle making repeated mistakes and doing dumb things because they're big enough. They're big enough to where they can mess up and still be around. And so it's just, anyway, it's weird. It's weird that you have like these giant realms of civilization crumbling from within and doing every stupid thing they can, and then saying, hey, everyone needs to do this. Everyone, especially other like tiny nations that can't afford to make the same stupid mistakes we're making. Everyone needs to do the same thing.
That is entirely accurate. Entirely accurate. And then you have imbeciles like this guy here. Wait, where is this? Joe Carroll. Funny how you will not name any NGO group for open borders. All are Jewish. Now, here is the thing. Mr. Joe Carroll here, whose real name is probably something
Nick.
very, very strange.
His real name's Nick.
You are a low IQ imbecile moron who probably has, despite living in the West, if you do at all, is on par of people in, I don't know, some really, really weird place that is severely underdeveloped, given the knowledge that you have. Given the knowledge that you haven't even bothered to look this up for a single time in your life. You haven't even been bothered to fact check this ridiculously stupid claim here. You get your dumb ideas, your ridiculously idiotic ideas
from Nick Fuentes,
from stupid people who take advantage of you, of even more stupid people like Nick Fuentes or others, and go, they're all Jewish. The Jews are responsible for the open borders. Here is the thing. Contrary to you, I actually fact-checked these claims a long time ago. Among the top 10 organizations that have been the greatest advocates for open borders, you have indeed one of the largest organizations is one that was founded by somebody who is of Jewish heritage, who is, however, very anti-Jewish and very anti-Zionist and anti-Israel. George Soros, who's also pro-Hamas, who's also pro-Islamic terrorists, pro-open borders, anti-Israel, anti-America, and so on. If you want to put all of them into one camp and say, well, look, it's the Jews. Good luck with that. I have to give you some bad news about Christians, because among the top 10 organizations, NGOs responsible for pushing open borders, there are multiple Christian organizations. In fact, I think if you want to divide it by numbers, the number of Jewish groups and the number of Christian groups, Protestant and Catholic, is pretty much equal, of pro-open borders NGOs. And then there are secularists, atheist, humanitarian organizations as well. But there is no pattern at all, of Jewish organizations being dominant. And of course, you want to hear it now.
Well, no, he said he said all are Jewish, all of them, 100%.
I'm pretty sure I made a note of that somewhere. Let me see.
He said, funny how you will not name any NGO group for open borders. All are Jewish, 100% of them.
Okay. International Rescue Committee, Secular Humanitarian, Open Society Foundation, George Soros. Refugees International, explicitly secular and humanitarian. Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, Jewish. Whoa, look. Whoa, this means they're all Jewish. Amnesty International, secular. Catholic Relief Services, probably Jewish.
Because Jesus was a Jew.
Jesuit Refugee Services.
Definitely Jewish.
Sounds like Jewish. No More Deaths. Progressive Christian group. Sounds like it's a Jewish organization. The Advocacy Project. Secular humanist. Doctors Without Borders. Is that it? That's 10? Yeah. But hey, anyway, disregard all of this.
But even there are lots of Jewish doctors, AP.
Even if it says Catholic, it's Jewish.
This is how smart the Jews are.
Even if it says Jesuits, it's clearly Jewish.
Yes,
Even if it says
a J in Jesuit stands for Jew.
Even if it says a collection of Protestant Christian organizations, it's probably Jewish.
They're only using the label Christian to make Christians look bad, but it's actually Jews.
Don't be a retard. That's my advice to you, to Joe Carroll.
And you know what's funny? Like any person with any level of integrity after posting that would have to think to himself, wow, why did I just say something completely false that I absorbed from a bunch of lying idiots who told me to believe that? Instead, we'll not have that basic level of self-reflection. And instead, we'll start posting similar things in different words or other attacks, or just go somewhere else and then say the exact same thing.
So if this guy, Joe Carroll here in the chat, had a little bit of integrity and a little bit of intelligence, he would actually fact check what I just said and go and then see clearly that I am actually right and think, oh, okay, I guess I was wrong. What he will do instead is he will move on to the next stupid point. And look here. He mentions Hayas, which is the only explicitly Jewish organization.
Wait, didn't he say all?
Of those that I already just mentioned. But he said all. Now he's picking one that is actually Jewish.
What if one is, then they all are. And notice the problem. He's you see, the problem is the Jews. Wait a minute. What about the Catholics, the Jesuits, everyone else? No, they're no problem. They're fine.
No, the Catholics.
There's one.
Not everybody is perfect, but if one Jewish organization is involved, then it's Jews in general.
Nazis. Don't be stupid. Learn something. Stop it. Get some help. Ethan Matthew, thank you for all you do. Associated Press and Daily Wire. Golden Girls theme plays. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being a friend.
I don't even know that. So, Fatwa de Je suis Charlie. 10 years since today? Oui, 10 years since today? Oh, that's interesting. 2015. Was that 2015? When was the attack?
That was today, dude. I posted about today is the 10-year anniversary.
Really?
Yeah, and you didn't post about it? What a dirtbag.
Wow.
I literally posted a Muhammad cartoon for this, and you are just you're a couple hours away from it being too late to even mention. Wow.
I was busy doing something else, man. I spent half of my day working on a a parody of a
A dumb
song
meme.
which is called Weak Ass Book.
Music is his passion, ladies and gentlemen. Music is his passion.
But it turns out kind of good. Look at this. Wait.
There's some holes in this book. 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 I said disputed claims. Early edits on each page. Weak ass book. All those.
Wow, even sounds like the right voice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You reading on this weak ass book. Better check the scribe for this.
That's gonna stick in people's heads, dude.
Burn old copies of this weak ass book. Where those verses go in this weak ass book? Flip it up, scribe, grab a pen, change the phrasing, write again. Abdullah left, called it a scam. Said he helped like this ain't from him. Flint stacking, lines erased. Oofman burnt them, sealed the case. Perfect, nah, that's just a claim. When the evidence screams the opposite name. They lost the stolen verse, where did it go? Breastfeeding rules forgotten, yo. Missing chapters, like I'll call, but they'll tell you unchanged, that's a gall. Sign up manuscripts full of notes, layers of text, they couldn't cope, so they cleaned it up. Try to align, but this weak ass book ain't divine. Yeah, 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 yeah. You reading on this weak ass book.
See?
That's gonna be a banger, man. Hey, you know what you should have?
Need to refine it a little bit. But...
You know what you should have? You should have me and you dressed up as Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. We should even rent a mansion to record the music video with us twerking or some crap.
The funny thing is, I came up with this idea a long time ago. A long time ago. And
back when it came out, I had to check it out because Ben Shapiro, he actually read the lyrics and I was like, oh, I should make a video out of this. And so I went and checked it out. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not going to say anything about this.
I listened to the Ben Shapiro version more than I listened to the original version. So it's I know what you're talking about. But I actually did something with this a long time ago when it first came out. And what I did back then was I took Yasser Qadi's words and put them on a beat that was supposed to that slightly imitated this, and
hey, here you go.
Brought the following into existence.
Hey, there's the title, man. Look.
What? Yeah, I know. That's what it's going to be called. That's what it's going to be called. See, let's see. Is this it?
Hey, then you can make a part 2 where it's WAP, but it's Prophet, and it's all about Muhammad.
Weak ass Prophet, yeah. That's the next big thing. That's the next big thing, man. It's the next big thing. Oh yeah, here.
There's some holes in this book. 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 There's some holes in this book.
So yeah, that's what I came up with back then, and I thought, this is nice. Now I just need to write some stuff on this and see where I go from there. Fast forward today, I thought I need to do something about this. Powerful. Yeah. Je suis Shirley. Lol, David. Do you have any footage of a goat versus sheep Quran eating contest?
Yeah, we do. We haven't posted it yet.
Why didn't you post it yet?
They haven't ticked us off enough. But yes, we have performed the experiments and we have concluded that a goat is massively more likely than a sheep to eat Quran pages. That's been confirmed scientifically, ladies and gentlemen. What this means for everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, there are Muslim sources that say that Aisha's sheep ate pages of the Quran. And there are others that say it was a goat that ate them. So which one was it? We kind of want to know. Well, how do you test it? Well, you can put some pages of the Quran in front of a sheep and a goat and see which one is more likely to eat it. And we've done that, and it has been confirmed. But yeah, we'll be releasing that one day.
Karen Fisher said, "Please, David, please don't leave AP unsupervised."
I'll try not to. I don't know what he said when I was gone. It's probably horrible.
People were asking about how people were saying that your health is more important than the Islam stuff, and I said I don't think so. Jack Ray, do you have any foot? Oh no, Arctic Based says the Norwegian government just issued an action plan against Islamophobia while throwing its Jewish minority under the bus and engaging in lawfare against Israel, the unholy trinity of modern anti-Semitism, Norway, Spain, and Ireland. It's kind of funny how that unfolded. But I don't understand. Wasn't Norway, like many years ago, wasn't Norway the better one out of the three main Scandinavian dummies, the Denmark, Sweden, and Norway? Wasn't Norway the better one in handling this whole immigration and Islam issue? How did Norway just become so pathetic about this whole Islamophobia stuff? I don't really understand. I don't really get it. What happened? Daniel Gruen, phobia implies irrationality. That's true. And as we know, irrationality rules. Raz Meister, you guys should check out the end of the debate with Natalie Winter and Jack Symes. I have no idea who either of these
Two
people are.
people I've never heard of.
Who is Natalie Winter? Sounds like a cold person. I have no idea who these people are, but I'll check it out. PBUM, they eat in Quran, causing you lose your voice. Uh-huh.
You see, David Wood ate the Quran 5 years ago, and now he's losing his voice. Coincidence? You see.
Tina L, phobe, fear, post, inter, irrational, Christians turn cheek. Okay. I am the truth. Check time 1:09:40 on Piers, please. Expose Jack. Which one? Which Piers? Which who? What? Where? Which video?
The Jordan Peterson one, I'm guessing. You played that.
Which video? I will keep this here and open that on the side and see what happens. Oh, okay. Wait, it's right here.
Roger Waters.
Robinson being
what?
Had Roger Waters. And Roger Waters has been identified as an anti-Semite by his own former bandmate. So
powerful. Didn't he say that he privately says like really horrible things about Jews?
He's been that way for a while.
That's funny.
Kids committing.
You think it's funny?
Mm-hmm.
In the
Well,
mass
when
shootings.
1 in 73.
Are you talking about this video? I am the truth. Because all I see is that
boobs. Look at my boobs.
Oh, like, did you just want to look at the woman here? Is this what this is about?
Can you look at my microphone real close?
Was this just?
I'm trying to draw attention to my microphone.
Was this just a trap for us to look at the boobs? Is this what you're doing?
Pakistani men in that one town are engaged. I don't really even think that they're an anomaly or on the extremities. That is the mainstream culture, and it's certainly the mainstream
to be
culture
clear,
when
to be
you're
clear,
saying
but
at an
to be
institutional
clear,
level for police
no,
officers
but to be clear,
covering it up.
To be clear, they were all almost exclusively members of the British Pakistani Muslim community. So that is a small number of the general Muslim population. Very small, actually.
Wait. Okay, wait. People aside.
Committing the
Well,
mass
when
shootings.
1 in 73 Pakistani men in that one town are engaged, I don't really even think that they're an anomaly or on the extremities. That is the mainstream culture, and it's certainly the mainstream culture when you're saying at an institutional level for police officers
to be clear,
covering it up.
To be clear, they were all almost exclusively members of the British Pakistani Muslim community. So that is a small number of the general Muslim population. Very small, actually. And so it's not pertinent to say it was a Muslim cultural problem, this scandal. It was a cultural problem amongst British Pakistani men, exclusively.
Did you hear that, David?
Mm-hmm. British Pakistani men.
Wait. Wow. That's pretty racist, isn't it? That's very racist and bigoted, and very pacophobic. Is that a word?
I'm surprised he said Pakistani and not Asian.
What? Wow.
Say Asian.
He actually said that?
Or you're racist, Piers.
Cultural problem. And so it's not pertinent to say it was a Muslim cultural problem. A small number of the general Muslim population, very small, actually. And so it's not pertinent to say it was a Muslim cultural problem, this scandal. It was a cultural problem amongst British Pakistani men, exclusively.
So British Pakistani Muslim men are a problem then. That's what it looks like. It looks like it is, okay, fine. We accept that it's not Muslims that are the problem. It's Pakistani Muslims that are the problem.
No, British Pakistanis. So what you should do, deport the Pakistanis, then they won't be British Pakistanis anymore. And then there's no problem, according to Piers. Piers just called for the extermination of all British Pakistanis.
Maybe he doesn't think that that British Pakistani. We can't assume that most British Pakistanis are Muslims. Maybe most of them are Jews.
I don't necessarily know if that framing is correct. I also think there's a racial element to it.
It is
well,
correct.
I think if you want to have the uncomfortable conversation about Islam, it is sort of conducive to pedophilia. I mean, I don't necessarily think that you can reduce it to the idea that, oh, well, just because they happen to be, Pakistani, British men.
Ask her again about the white school shooter.
Where I read
answer that question.
Well, white school shooter. She said there's something Islamic about pedophilia. Put the sources on the screen, Carl.
Who is this one? I'm sorry for talking about boobs because David wants to distract with boobs all the time. But who is this? Who is this woman? Does anybody know who this is?
Conspiracy theorist on the line. It's always good fun. I hate to pull rank at you and sound like a twat, but
not a
both of my PhDs
theory,
are in philosophy of religion,
Quran.
and I think I'm slightly more qualified to speak about the Quran than you are, and to suggest even for a moment that that document allows for, what it does is condemn non-consensual marriage and...
Shut up.
Who said anything about who was talking about non-consensual marriage? Who
is this bozo? Who is this freaking moron?
She said pedophilia, which don't go to the Quran for that sport. Look, dude, this dude right here, they're like the worst kind of people. I'm gonna pull rank on you and say things that are completely false.
Jack Symes, is this him? Looks like him. What is this? Who is this guy? Never even heard of this guy. Who is this? How is he qualified?
He has a PhD in philosophy of religion. Guys, just so you know, PhD in philosophy of religion means it gives you no indication that you know anything about Islam. Philosophy of religion means you're examining concepts like the existence of God and the history of it. It has nothing to do with actually knowing what you're talking about with Islam.
Natalie Winters, Steve Bannon's War Room, Natalie Winters, and philosopher writer Jack Symes. Okay, it was right here. I could have just looked at that, right? Natalie Winters, not Winters.
Non-consensual sexual contact.
I'd look up the rates of child brides then, and I'd see
the
what
real
countries
risk you
they're
have
most
in the US
prevalent in.
isn't multiculturalism.
Did you hear this dummy just said non-consensual sex? He thinks it's consent, like the taking the captives of your right hands and having sex with them. This is all consensual. Taking them, even if you're still married, they conquer the town, they run and grab you, and then it was consensual. So following the women wanted it, basically, right? The women who were being conquered, and they wanted it, according to this guy.
Running the biggest social media planet, one of the biggest in the world, which has turned into an echo chamber of your ridiculous ideology. And the fact that you're telling us all, telling the British public, who we're proudly multicultural, and as someone that was brought up in multicultural working class Birmingham, I can tell you for sure that there's not you won't find a Muslim there who's read the Quran and went, oh, you know what? It didn't rule out sexual violence, so I might just crack on with that. I don't know what planet you're living on.
What you mean it doesn't rule out? It advocates it. It's one of the main incentives. If you go out and fight with me, either you're going to die and you're going to spend eternity deflowering virgins, or we're going to take everyone else's wives and daughters. We're going to go and freaking rape them.
What a smug piece
What
of...
a smug, arrogant piece of garbage, dude! You are absolute lying scum.
I want to debate
using your degree to give you this condescending attitude.
I want to debate and humiliate this guy.
Hey,
I really,
you should tweet. You say, hey Piers, this guy, whatever his name is, says that this has nothing to do with Islam, and Islam condemns this stuff. I agreed to debate him on whether Islam allows and promotes pedophilia, the sexual abuse and exploitation of non-Muslim women and girls, and I accept.
I want to debate and humiliate this guy. I want to humiliate this guy.
I'd suggest that you do a course in religious studies before you start.
And think about that. Yes, go learn from a professor who will freaking lie to you because they have to. Because if they don't, then they're in trouble. Yeah, don't go to the Quran and the Hadith. Go take a course from a university.
David, if you take a course in religious studies, will it tell you about whether Islam allows sexual violence or not?
No, and my undergraduate degree in philosophy was philosophy and religious studies. No, strangely enough, never comes up, AP. In fact, I can go ahead and inform everyone. I still have it somewhere. The Quran. We had multiple books to go through in Islam, but the Quran was actually a condensed version of the Quran where they took out a lot of stuff. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, this like smug idiot thinking, oh, if you want to learn about Islam, go to a Western British university. They'll give you the truth. This is everything. This is the reason that the West collapses before Islam.
Okay, I need
idiot cowards like this.
I need a clip of this, and I need to really just post about this and challenge this guy to a debate, because this is just, man, with his attitude here about this whole issue. This guy deserves to be put in his place very, very bad.
Yeah. And AP, that entire debate will be you quoting the Quran and the Hadith and him going, well, that wouldn't fly at Oxford. That's not, don't you know, AP, Islam is defined by whatever your professor says at university, not by Muhammad and the Quran. Don't you know, stupid, foolish boy. Freaking idiot, man.
I have just seen Jake Symes pretend to be an authority on Islamic morality. Let's see. I'm gonna write that out later and tweet about it.
Well, thank you for the ad hominem attacks. I'm sure that means you have a really strong argument. But I think the young working class girls.
Look at what a garbage. This is like. I already, after these few seconds, dislike him far more than the worst of the Dawa guys. I'm so like the guy who can say everything and be completely wrong and say everything false.
Excuse
me. Pulling rank and have a big smile on his face.
Oh, really? Well, excuse.
You are the worst type of person, buddy. You're garbage.
Wait a minute. Look at what the hell? I'm even more angry at this guy now because I was just imitating this guy and accidentally broke my.
Whoa!
My 99 names of Allah decor.
You see, now Allah has lost his names.
I broke Allah's butt plug. Okay, this is it. I'm gonna humiliate this guy. This is unacceptable. I'm gonna humiliate this guy.
Who probably grew up in the same areas that you did. would beg to differ. I don't understand what you're saying. I've read the Quran. I've seen what's in there. Even if you don't think that my interpretation of the Quran is correct, I would point you to, I don't know, what countries have the most issues when it comes to child brides and raping of young girls and children. It's obviously a systemic cultural problem with Islam. It's not a problem that is contained or unique to the West. And I don't know, last time I checked, this whole grooming gang phenomenon is what contained primarily to Muslim men. And it really only started when you started seeing mass migration waves.
I just think this is so dangerous. This is so dangerous what you're saying.
Oh my gosh, this is so dangerous. Like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely dangerous. This is absolutely. We can absolutely not point out that this is just the mere fact that we talk about the fact that most of these grooming gangs are overwhelmingly ran by Muslims. This is absolutely dangerous. We shouldn't be talking about this. We shouldn't be talking about this. I mean, oh my!
Look at this, dude. Look at the people they have. The girl, the blonde girl with her boobies sticking out, she represents kind of like the commonsensical. Look, there's obviously a problem here. The other two guests represent the two forces that have basically allowed the grooming gangs to flourish and continue raping little girls. You have the guy who's pretending that this has nothing to do with Islam. Don't look at Islam. Don't look at that. Haha, you're an idiot. You're a bigot. You're a racist if you look at Islam. So don't look there. And we know better. You don't know better. And then you have this woman who it's dangerous to even talk about this. It's dangerous to state what the facts are. It's dangerous. So don't talk about it. And that was exactly the reasoning of the police and judges and prosecutors and everything, social workers, journalists who covered this up for years. If you state the facts, it's going to be a problem because it'll be dangerous, and therefore silence anyone who brings it up, lock them in jail, and just let these guys continue raping, drugging, pimping, gang raping, beating, torturing, and even killing sometimes these young girls, because you don't want to do something dangerous, do you?
Yeah. Anyway, I just made the most rude post about him as.
I mean, can we? Okay, so in the United Kingdom, 1 in 3
Shut up! I don't want to listen to this.
school children.
I think it's dangerous to be importing men from cultures who are willing to rape young.
What is with this deflection that she's coming in? Anyway, okay, I get the point. I get the point. I don't want to listen to this.
We might want to go through that.
Oh my gosh, this is so dangerous. This is absolutely dangerous. How dare you talk about the fact that most of these grooming gang perpetrators happen to be Muslims? This is absolutely dangerous. We cannot talk about this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. At present, Daily Wire's health is priority. No, it's not. Brian Bailey became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Annabelle said, to be fair to PM, which I don't want to be, he is an OG grifter and very problematic. The discussion is not if to have TR on his show. It is if he should be the poster boy for the discussion. That's a good argument.
Yeah, it's not what he said though. He just said, I don't want him on my show because he's an Islamophobe.
No, that's not what he said. Him misrepresenting him. Anne Wyckoff, the top 30 terrorist groups in the world are all Islamic. I don't like that. Does it make me an Islamophobe? Nope. It does not. Additionally, I mentioned this many times, but over 80% of terrorism-related deaths are caused by Islamic terrorism, which, of course, means all religions are equally bad. Illogic Man says, towards your Quran expenses. Love you guys. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, now since we have money for more.
D-Oil Beef. Hello.
Punch someone with the Quran.
Hello, I am at Amalai Crabs on World 333 if anyone wants to hang out. There you go. Some falafel sandwich. Peacekeeper versus a pacemaker. Peacekeeper VA Peacemaker. The Bible Project has a series about the Beatitudes and peace, and also short word study video about shalom. Powerful. David, there you go. This is for you. There you go. MBGS TV, so late to the show. You probably said it already, but I have a very rational fear of Islamists and Islamism phobia. Irrational fear differentiated from anti-Semitism. This is ridiculously Islamophobic and bigoted. I'm hereby banning you. Pat's leather straps. AP, yes, does nothing. So lazy. Yeah. Not sure what you're talking about. I always do everything. Songs of Relief. APJ and DOC did recent piece on Central Dawa. They explored and made suggestions for your upcoming debate specifically by name. Oh yeah, Jai messaged me as well. I still need to check that out. But the thing is, I don't want to. If I'm going to go into a debate with Central Dawa, I want to make sure that I go into it with full respect for my opponent, no prejudice, and so on.
What are you guys even debating?
I think the first debate is going to be: does the Bible mention Muhammad?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
And the second debate is going to be: was Muhammad a true prophet? Which one do you think I picked? And which one did he pick?
You picked Muhammad was a true prophet.
Yeah.
He picked Muhammad in the Bible.
The corrupt Bible.
Yep. Tesbot, I am against everyone because I'm perfect, you see. Karen Fisher, please, David, please don't leave AP unsupervised. Very bad advice. Antonius de Villiers, Skippity Mohammed will teach you how to poo.
Wait, are you doing both those debates at DebateCon?
No, only one of those.
Oh, okay. Have
Only
you picked which
one.
one so far?
I think I'm going to do the Muhammad was a true prophet debate at the DebateCon, and the other online.
That's good. That's a good approach. But you're going to be humiliated, and he's going to prove that Muhammad's a prophet.
Well, that's just what happens, you know. That's just what happens. That's just what they do. That's what they do. Pat's leather straps, the juice of it, you see. Well, I have to get rid of this Quran. It's just awful after a while. Yes. I wonder what happened to that stupid neo-Nazi in the chat. Lidinia Sarisi, have a look at Islam Wow. Gives out random references. Fun way to learn over dull moments. What is Islam Wow? Islam Wow. What in the heck is this? What the heck is this? What the hell is this? This is a website. Random selections of hadith, tafsir, and fiqh. Islam Wow. Go. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, the wife of Prophet Aisha. This is Gabriel greeting you. Wife of the Prophet, the messenger of Allah. This is something again. Allah prohibited the Muslims from calling the disbelievers to a truce, but ordered them to wage war on them until they became Muslim. Who made this? Who made this? Who made this website? Is this automatically translating? What is this? Who made this website? I'm really curious. This is very funny. What am I allowed to do with my woman when she's menstruating? He said you can have whatever is above the waist wrap. This is very interesting. Who made this website? I'm really curious, man. Wow. I'm going to keep this here on the side. Powerful. GoTub, what program are you using to make that IP? Black Angel wants me to make a parody of My Neck, My Back for Muslims, LMAO. I'm using different things to do that. It's kind of it's a weird thing that I do. I use FL Studio to set up my own stuff, sometimes to compose and put together some beats or something, and to arrange and align them. Sometimes I just record myself humming and then work on that, and then mix it with Suno, which is an AI music generator, where I spend lots of time, and then import from there back to FL Studio to work on that and so on. But if you just want to go for the basic AI music generation thing, Suno is very good. Paolo Longaro, can you please debate Piers Morgan already? Well, the funny thing is I was actually in contact with Piers Morgan's team, and Piers Morgan's producer got in touch with me and said that they want to invite me after the whole election thing is over. And as I was waiting, they never got back to me. And as I was waiting for them, I also talked to somebody else who told me that Piers Morgan's show has a problem with people who talk about Islam and who talk against Islam. So if I am going to make my talking points against Islam specifically, they will most likely try to either convince me not to talk about it, or they will not invite me. This comes from somebody who is frequently on Piers Morgan's show and who is a mutual contact. So I was informed directly that Piers Morgan's show has a no Islam or no anti-Islam discussions policy. They explicitly discourage their guests from talking about or against Islam, and also disinvite people who talk against Islam too much. I'm serious. And I can always share with Piers Morgan himself, who told me that. Steve C. Jake and Daniel are at war. Hamza is back to money to get him out of debt. Tory are on the ropes.
Hamza who?
Hamza who? Hamza Tortoise or Hamza Arena guy? Who?
Yeah, there's like a million Hamzas.
Everybody names himself Hamza when he converts to Islam, so it's kind of hard to tell. They're like, oh, I want to. I'm a Muslim now. What name should I pick? I think this Hamza name is good. Like every Muslim. Karen Fisher. Piers sounds like the commentators describing the New Orleans attack. It's the old, only a small minority of radicals, not true Islam rhetoric. I thought we were over that, but apparently,
yeah,
not as smart as I thought.
Yeah, we're cycling back to it. Apparently,
I used to have a better impression of Western people. Hamza's Den, said Steve C. Hamza's Den, doesn't he run an arena where he gets lots of super chats from people and gets and so on? I don't understand. Doesn't he get like 5,000 viewers per show or something like that? I don't understand. I don't know. All news report from UK. Victims call them Asian. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Wait a minute. That's also where I made a mistake here. I said British people look weird and posted this. See, this is the problem.
Yep. Pretty bad. There you go. That's better.
Yep. All right. Tezbot, are grooming gangs directly Islamic?
Asians look weird.
Grauen Ritter, grooming gangs, not necessarily directly Islamic. And in fact, you could make the argument that if you go by strict Islamic laws, setting up a grooming gang or a rape gang would not be allowed in an Islamic state, under an Islamic system. However, if you are in a non-Muslim country, if you are in a country of non-Muslims, of the kuffar, and you are raised and live in with the Islamic influence, you have certain things pushed into your brain, such as that you are basically at war with the disbelievers, with the enemies of Islam, that this is basically a land of war. You have extremely disparaging, extremely messed up attitudes towards non-Muslims. You have very messed up attitudes toward non-Muslim women. There are lots of reports from grooming gang members of what they think about their victims. In fact, I'm sure if I just Google for it, I'm going to get some results of headlines about that. White girls respect. Let me see. Oh yeah. See, I see. I didn't even. I predicted it right here. Here, right there. Sex abuse gangs view white girls as worthless and trash. Common attitude.
Almost like the worst of creatures.
Yeah. This is the attitude that you get culturally with the influence of Islamic thinking and Islamic tribalism and hate and all that. As a result of that, with such a sick culture that teaches you that disbelievers are the worst creatures, and the women especially are basically the whores, what do you think you're going to end up with? Grauenritter, that dude on Piers is proud of that. He is. Arctic based. You should discuss some of Natasha Hausdorff's videos on your live stream. Very eloquent and knowledgeable in refuting anti-Israeli lies and calumnies. I said in the past that I would look at some of her videos. She seems like a very interesting speaker on behalf of Israel. Would definitely do that. Have to look into that. Piers, charismatic psychopath. Watch Old Apprentice. Alhamdulillah. Ari Wasserman, did you see Bottom G saying everyone going to be fine since he's going to be prime minister? I'm already feeling better. Oh yeah, well he's going to be pimping the British people, so that's good. That's good. He's gonna create more jobs by encouraging British people to be his cam girls.
I will turn all of Great Britain into one big cam girl studio.
J. Rowe, what do you think of Esther Krakow said on the same Piers show about the R being a Pakistani problem, as Bangladeshis weren't doing this? Partly true.
Bangladeshis were the second highest number, though, weren't they?
Probably. I don't know. Who's Esther Krakow? Who's Esther Krakow? Wait, isn't this that woman who is like, doesn't she have like very mildly anti-xenophobia, anti-bigotry positions? I don't know. Pat's leather straps. The dude is the people from the people are retarded. He's the people that guy was on about. Oh, you mean?
But the people are retarded.
So this was about the James guy, or Jack Symes, whatever his dumb name is. Peace be upon me. Do you think the conquest of Rome is close? Muslim 29:20 Hadith, as Momo mentioned, similar to Constantinople when Momo II invades in Constantinople. Yes, it's very close. I think soon the Romans will fall and the Muslims will conquer the Romans. It's very, very close. As predicted, is this the one that mentions Rome? As predicted by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Hurairah reported, Allah's apostle, saying, "You have heard about a city, one side of which is on land and the other side is in the sea." And then it says in parentheses, Constantinople. They said, Allah's messenger, yes. Thereupon he said, the last hour would not come unless 70,000 persons from Bani Ishaq would attack it. When they would land there, they would neither fight with weapons nor would shower arrows, but would only say, La ilaha illallah, and one side of it would fall. One of the narrators said, I think that he said the part by the side of the ocean. Then they would say for the second time, there is no God but Allah, and the other wall would also fall. This sounds very realistic. There is no God but Allah, and the other gate would be opened. And then they would enter therein, and they would be collecting the spoils of war and distributing them amongst themselves, when a noise would be heard saying, verily Dajjal has come, and thus they would leave everything there and go back. It's kind of funny to me that the prophecies in the hadiths are like some of the dumbest sounding prophecies that I've seen in my entire life. But that's just what Islam is for you. What are you going to do? brain dead. MBGS TV, the woman in the white dress looks and sounds working class, while the arrogant guys and other women are upper class. So, David, people are saying here that that in the UK there is indeed this class problem,
Weird.
which is why Piers Morgan, for example, will have a big problem with Tommy Robinson, but not a problem with other Islamophobes. And he would also have a problem with this one woman who was just talking against the grooming gangs, but not a problem with the other woman or with this other guy, who are elite, smug elites. What do you think of this assessment, considering that this is what the chat is saying and what you haven't said so far?
Yeah, we could go with the chat on this one. Okay. I'm just I'm scrolling through this. It's actually a pretty short section. We might want to go through the whole thing.
Of your ridiculous ideology, and the fact that you're telling us all.
Why are you playing this again?
Is this how British people are?
Yeah.
These people make me sick.
Extremely pompous.
This is every British person is like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cheryl R, for some Gorilla super glue, you got to fix your favorite fidget spinner. I know, man. I have to order a new one probably now. This was my.
Order like 20 of them, so in case this happens again, you've got backups.
This was the best thing I ever had.
Hey, you should order 99 of them.
The 99 butt plugs of Allah.
The 99 butt plugs of Allah's 99 names.
This was the best thing I ever had. And now it's broken. All because of this smug bastard. I don't even know if this... I wonder if I can glue this together.
Get some gorilla glue.
I don't think so. This is stone... harsh stuff.
Which part of gorilla glue didn't you understand?
This is very, very heavy. This stuff is extremely heavy. You could kill somebody throwing this at someone's head. You see, David's voice is cracking. He's a weakling, like Mike Jones. Muhammad Hijab, probably. Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if I can finally do a Mike Jones impression.
Let's try it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Inspiring Philosophy. We're going to talk about all the most important philosophical issues relating to Christianity and the Bible.
Mary Mac says, David, why have you swapped your voice for IPs? God bless you, dear brothers, Apostate Prophet and Daily Wire. So brave of you that you to do that to the Quran. I feel so powerful to just think they need our book and we don't need theirs. It is very powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Have you seen the Joe Rogan Westhoff debate yet? You mean the conversation? I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it after this. And David won't watch it. John D. AP. So what you're saying is that Piers Morgan won't invite you, but he will invite Dan Bilzerian. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you say that the Jews are the worst people and they deserve what's coming to them, and the Holocaust didn't really happen,
then you're good.
Then you're fine. You can go on Piers Morgan. If you say I don't like Islam, then like what? Excuse me. That sounds very Islamophobic. I can't believe what you're saying. That's pretty Islamophobic. I'm flabbergasted. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. How could you say that? How could you say that about a religion? Absolutely gobsmacked. That sounds brazenly Islamophobic. But Piers, this religion says I should be killed. I don't care. This is Islamophobic. This is bigotry. You see, Annabelle, I didn't see the X stuff. That was the argument he made to JP on the show today. Joined a little late, so missed the original tweet. Thank you, Annabelle. All is forgiven. It's probably David's fault if something went wrong. C. Chapman, AP make parody of green eggs and ham, but I don't like Islam. I do not like it, Sam, I am. Okay, I will do that now. Rasmus Zorens, remember, white female slaves were of the highest value during all of the Islamic times and empires. Well, I can't really blame them, to be honest. I mean, if I wasn't a Muslim world, I would also place the highest value on the white female slaves. Which, you know, I know that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But yeah, this is true. The Muslim raiders and empires had a habit of collecting white slaves, white European slaves, and they would bring white female slaves, and the white female slaves were very high in demand and had their very high price tag. Very, very high price tag. Moral logic, a little donation for a spittoon, maybe an upside down minaret. Huh. That's cool. Rocketman Jenna says, I don't have Islamophobia, I have Islamorealism and Islamoprecautionism. Let's make this a new terminology. Islamorealism is more factual. Islamoprecautionism is you have foresight after the facts. I would say that you can just say, I hate Islam, and that's totally fine.
That's a better approach.
Yeah. Mr. Noyeb, that's not a compliment. It actually was a compliment. Or maybe it wasn't. I guess it's kind of how you see it, like relatively speaking. If you are in the Muslim world and you place the highest value on white female slaves, is that really a compliment to white female humans? I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. Ari Wasserman, you pulled the plug out and the lifeboat sank. Yep. Yep. That's what we did. I removed the plug. Gifted 5 Rosie Orozco gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that very, very much. Go Top David Wood IP'd himself. That's pretty good.
IP'd himself.
Ari Wasserman, you got 99 plugs, but a problem made one. Nice. That's a nice twist. Nice. That's a nice spin, nice twist. That's a very, very nice plug right here at the end. Anyway, David, do you want to plug anything? What are we doing next time?
Don't know. Might wake up tomorrow, my voice is fine, or might be messed up for another week. Who knows these things?
Are you gonna
Allah knows best.
Are you gonna plug something? Are you gonna plug something for tomorrow on Robert Spencer's channel on Jihad Watch?
No, Robert is traveling tomorrow, so there will not be any show unless I wake up and my voice is awesome. In which case we will do something else, because there's like, have you noticed there's like a million issues to cover?
There is.
There's like we could do 2 or 3 shows a day for a week just to try and catch up.
But plug something for tomorrow so that we can have it an idea on.
I thought about it, but plugging isn't really.
So stupid.
But plugging isn't really my thing, Abe.
This is so childish, man.
It's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Man. Yes. Well, if we're not live tomorrow, then we can at least be live on Thursday, right?
Well,
at least we can be live on Thursday.
Yeah, the idea is, it sucks that my voice is gone right now because there's a million topics to cover. So if my voice returns, we'll go live as much as possible. If not, then hopefully Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, Victoria says butt plugged something. Yeah. Please stop saying plugging. I can't help it, man. We are plugged in here. Butt plug something tomorrow. Ooh, gay. Ooh, brother. Ooh. Songs of Relief said AP reads super chats names out loud. Agnostic. David Wood reads names after the fact sometimes if he feels like it. Christian. Draw your own conclusions. You see? Thirsty Thursday plugging. Anyway, That's it. We are going to be live again tomorrow or Thursday or sometime in the future.
Or never. It's always possible. My
Or
voice
never again.
will always sound like RFK's voice.
Never again. Never again.
Can you tell me if you wipe my body?
No, that's not it. Wait a minute.
You can't steal their song, man.
I was trying to rework the "Can you tell me how to wipe my butt" song into different versions, but yeah, let's see. I'll just end with this song, I guess. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for joining. As always, it is a great pleasure to be with you. And although we did not plan anything concrete as of yet, there is always time. There is always a big gap. There is always a hole and a space to plan something. But plugging something right now does not seem wise, considering David's condition. He may die or not, we don't know. But something will be there to be plugged sometime later this week. Until then, as always, have a fantastic day. And as the wise men say, and for those who don't speak the language of goats,
stay away from Islam.